Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Energize Your Passion. I'm your host, Sunshine, and if you've been searching for a dose of positive energy to light up your day, you've landed in the right spot. Today, we're talking about something I know hits close to home for so many of you: following your passion without sacrificing your wealth. Let's face it, the idea of following your dreams can sometimes feel like you've been asked to leap off of a financial cliff with no safety net. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? What if you could have both a fulfilling life, doing what you love, and the financial security you need to thrive? Stick with me, because we're about to explore exactly how to make that happen. I've got some inspiring listener stories, practical tips, and my own sprinkle of sunshine, to keep us energized. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's dive in. Segment 1: Defining passion and wealth in your own terms. When we think about passion, it's often painted as this grand, all-encompassing thing. But let me tell you a little secret. It doesn't always have to be. Passion can be quiet. It can be subtle. It can live in the moments where you lose yourself in something that makes you feel alive. Maybe it's those weekends spent gardening, the thrill of designing your own outfits, or the way your heart races when you think about writing that novel. And wealth? Let's rethink that too. Sometimes we'll equate wealth with a number, a status symbol, or even a comparison to others. But what if wealth wasn't about how much you had, but about how much freedom you felt? What if it was about the ability to say yes to the things that matter and no to the things that drain you? What if wealth was about waking up and loving the life you've built, not just the balance in your bank account? I want to pause here and ask you to reflect for a moment. Have you ever taken the time to sit with a journal or just your thoughts and ask yourself, what truly makes me happy? And what does success look like to me? If you haven't, let this be your gentle nudge to start today, because defining those things for yourself is where the magic begins. Let's circle back to Kelly in Colorado. What I love about her story is how she allowed herself to redefine success. For Kelly, it wasn't about climbing the corporate ladder anymore. It was about creating something she could pour her heart into: candles that brought light and warmth to people's home. She didn't let society definition of wealth, more promotions, more money, dictate her life. She trusted her own version of success, and now she's living it. I know some of you listening might be thinking, but Sunshine, how do I even start redefining these things when my plate is already full? My life is packed with responsibilities. I hear you. I hear you. But here's the thing: carving out even 15 minutes a day to dream, reflect, and visualize your ideal life is a powerful step. Your time is valuable, and when you invest it in understanding yourself, the returns are immeasurable. And Mark's story from Seattle is another brilliant example of gradual transformation. He didn't wake up one day, quit his job, and hope for the best. No, he nurtured his passion for music little by little. By starting small and being intentional, he found a way to let his dream grow without putting his financial stability at risk. That kind of thoughtful balance is what makes his journey so inspiring. Let me ask you this: what could start small look like for you? Could you take 1 hour this week to explore your passion? Maybe it's taking a class, setting up a meeting with a mentor, or even just sketching out some ideas on paper. Small steps don't just lead to big changes, they are the change. And remember, defining your passion and wealth isn't just a one time thing. These definitions can evolve as you grow. The goals and dreams you had 5 years ago might not align with who you are today, and that's okay. Give yourself permission to adapt. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, it all comes down to this. When you know what lights you up and what makes you feel secure, you're unstoppable. It's not about chasing someone else's dream or fitting into their box. It's about building a life that feels authentic and meaningful to you. So here's my challenge to you. Take some time today to think about what passion and wealth means to you. Write it down, let it simmer, and keep coming back to it. I promise you, the clarity you gain will be the foundation for everything we talk about moving forward. Let's start carving out our path to balance and joy together. Passion doesn't mean abandoning all logic, and wealth doesn't mean sacrificing joy. They can coexist, and your first step is defining what they mean to you. Start small, stay curious, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. Segment 2, Building a Bridge Between Passion and Wealth. All right, my friends, now that we've laid the groundwork for understanding passion and wealth, it's time to get practical. How do you connect these two powerful forces in a way that works for you? It all comes down to strategy. Picture it like waving a safety net. Each thread, whether it's planning, saving, or testing the waters, adds strength to your journey so you can climb higher without worrying about a hard fall. Here's something I want you to think about. A bridge isn't built overnight. It takes time, careful planning, and the right materials. Your bridge between passion and wealth is no different. The key is to start where you are, with what you have. You don't have to make a grand leap all at once. In fact, slow and steady often wins the race. Let me share more about why that's so important. Anna from Texas is a perfect example. When she decided to shift from nursing to becoming a wellness coach, she didn't just up and quit her job. She gave herself 2 full years to prepare. That's 2 years of saving, 2 years of taking certifications, and 2 years of learning the ropes. By the time she made her move, she wasn't stepping into the unknown. She was stepping into something she had already built with care. And look at her now. She's not just thriving, she's also doing work that fills her soul while maintaining her financial peace of mind. Do you hear the brilliance in Anna's strategy? She didn't just trust in the power of her passion, she trusted in the power of preparation. Passion might be the spark, but preparation is the fuel that keeps the fire burning. And for Anna, every step she took over those 2 years was another thread in her safety net. Then there's Jason and his dream of owning a bakery. Instead of taking out a massive loan or quitting his job, he tested the waters with a weekend pop up shop. That strategy gave him so much more than just extra income. It gave him the insight into what his customers wanted, allowed him to perfect his recipes, and built a loyal base of supporters who couldn't wait for him to open a full-time bakery. By the time he took the plunge, he had a foundation to stand on and a community ready to support him. Jason's story shows us the value of experimentation. When you start small, you give yourself the freedom to learn, pivot, and grow without putting too much on the line. It's like dipping your toes in the water before diving in head first. Let me ask you this. What would starting small look like for your passion? Could it be teaching one class, selling one product, or volunteering a few hours a week? Those small actions might feel like baby steps now, but they're laying the foundation for something much bigger. Another crucial part of this bridge is financial preparation. That's right. Money can be a source of stress or a source of freedom. It all depends on how you manage it. If you're thinking about pursuing your passion full time, start by building a cushion. How much would you need to cover 6 months of expenses? What could you cut back on now to save a little extra? These aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're the scaffolding that supports your dream. I want you to remember that bridges are built with patience and persistence. There might be days when it feels like nothing is happening, like your efforts aren't adding up. But every hour you invest, every dollar you save, and every skill you learn is another brick in the path to your future. Here's another thing to keep in mind. Your bridge doesn't have to look like anybody else's. No, ma'am, Pam. Some people might take 5 years to transition to their passion, while others might take one. Some might juggle multiple roles, while others focus on one at a time. The timeline and the strategies are entirely up to you, and that's the beauty of it. So, what's your next step? Maybe it's researching certifications like Anna did. Maybe it's setting up a small side hustle like Jason. Or maybe it's simply sitting down to map out a plan. Whatever you are in the process, know that you're not alone. You're part of a community of dreamers and doers who are building their bridges one step at a time. Slow and steady isn't just wise, it's empowering. When you build a bridge instead of burning one, you give yourself the best chance to succeed. And remember, every small step you take today brings you closer to the life you're dreaming of tomorrow. Segment 3, Overcoming Fear and Doubt. All right, folks, let's get real. We've talked about defining your passion and building a bridge to wealth. But now it's time to address the sneaky little voice that tries to hold you back. Fear. You know the one I'm talking about. It says things like, what if I fail? Or what will people think? Or worse, who do you think you are to even try? That voice is just fear trying to keep you in your comfort zone. But here's the thing. Fear isn't your enemy. Fear is a sign that you're stepping into something new, something meaningful, and yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's also the first step towards growth. Let me tell you, everyone, and I mean everyone, who chase their passion has faced fear. The difference is they didn't let it win. Take Maria from New York. When she decided to start her photography business, fear was practically her shadow. Her family doubted her decision, worried she wouldn't be able to make a living. And let's be honest, that kind of doubt, especially from people you love, can weigh heavy. And Maria didn't let it stop her. She took the time to find a mentor, someone who had walked the path before her. With their guidance, she created a solid business plan and started putting herself out there. Today, Maria isn't just making ends meet, she's thriving. She's capturing moments, telling stories through her lenses, and loving every second of it. And when I asked her what she'll say to someone standing where she once stood, she told me, "Don't let fear make your decision for you. You're stronger than you think." Maria's story is such a beautiful reminder that fear might always be present, but it doesn't get to call the shots. What if Maria had listened to her doubts or let her family's concerns hold her back? She wouldn't be living her dream, and the world would have missed out on her incredible talent. And here's the thing, fear often exaggerates the worst case scenario. It whispers, "You'll fail and it'll be a disaster." But the reality, even if you stumble, you'll learn, grow, and come back stronger. Failure isn't the opposite of success. No, it's not. It's part of the journey. Then there's Devin from Miami. He had this amazing idea for a mobile app, but fear almost kept him from pursuing it. He told me how nervous he felt pitching his idea to investors. He worried about rejection, about being told his idea wasn't good enough. But instead of letting those fears paralyze him, Devin focused on small wins. He told himself, just one pitch, just one meeting, and you know what? Each small step built his confidence. Today, his app is on the verge of a nationwide launch. Devin didn't let fear stop him. He used it as a fuel to keep moving forward. Devin's story is proof that you don't have to conquer fear all at once. You can take it step by step, one small win at a time. Think about it. What's one small action you can take towards your passion today? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Maybe it's sending an email, making a phone call, or even just writing down your goals. Whatever it is, take that step because every time you act in spite of fear, you're teaching yourself that you can handle it. You know, I think a lot of us assume that successful people are fearless. Let me tell you something. They feel fear too. The difference is they've learned to move through it. They've learned to see fear not as a stop sign, but as a hurdle. And hurdles are meant to be jumped over, crawled under, or knocked down. The point is, you don't let them stop you. I want you to remember this. Fear isn't a reflection of your ability. It's a reflection of how much you care. If you didn't care about your dream, fear wouldn't show up. So instead of you fighting it, acknowledge it. Say, "I see you, fear, but you're not driving this car. I am." And let's not forget about doubt. Fear's sneaky little sidekick. Doubt would tell you you're not good enough or that someone else could do it better. But here's the truth. No one else can do it your way. Your passion is yours for a reason, and the world needs what you have to offer. So what's the takeaway here? It's simple. Fear and doubt are part of the process, but they don't get to dictate your journey. You're in charge, and every time you take a step forward, no matter how small, you're proving to yourself that you're capable, brave, and worthy of pursuing your dreams. Here's my challenge for you this week. Identify one fear that's holding you back and take one small action to face it. Maybe it's reaching out to someone for advice, trying something new, or even just telling a friend about your passion. Whatever it is, take that step. You've got this, and I'm cheering for you every step of the way. Fear isn't a stop sign, it's a hurdle. Just jump over it, crawl under it, or knock it down. Just don't let it stop you. Every step you take in spite of fear is a victory. And those victories add up to something amazing. Segment 4: Practical Tips for Pursuing Passion Without Financial Risk. All right, friends, we've defined passion, built bridges, and tackled fear. Now it's time to roll up our sleeves and dive into the nitty gritty. Let's talk about practical, actionable tips that'll help you pursue your passion without risking your financial stability. Because here's the thing: chasing your dream doesn't have to mean throwing caution to the wind. In fact, some of the most successful people I know took calculated steps, blending their passion with practicality. So grab a pen or just tuck these ideas into your mental toolbox, because these tips are here to set you up for success. Let's start with the first tip: start small. So often we feel this pressure to go all in or do nothing at all. But the truth is, testing the waters can be just as powerful as taking the plunge. Think of it like dating your passion before you marry it. It's a chance to see what works, what you love, and what you might need tweaking. Emily from Chicago used her graphic design job as a springboard for her dream of becoming a freelance illustrator. She didn't quit her job overnight. Instead, she started by taking on small illustration projects during her evenings and weekends. Each project helped her build a portfolio and gain confidence. When she finally transitioned to full time freelancing, she wasn't starting from scratch. She had clients, experience, and a steady flow of work. Emily told me that starting small not only erased her financial worries, but also gave her time to refine her craft. And today, she's thriving, doing what she loves on her own terms. Emily's story is such a great example of how starting small can lead to big things. And while you're starting small, let's not forget tip number 2: create a financial cushion. This one's a game changer. Imagine the peace of mind you'll feel knowing you have 6 months of expenses saved up before diving into your passion full time. That cushion gives you breathing room to experiment, take risks, and handle unexpected challenges without the stress of living paycheck to paycheck. Now, I know saving isn't always easy, but every little bit counts. Could you cut back on dining out or cancel a subscription you barely use? Those small changes can add up over time. And before you know it, you'll have a safety net to catch you as you transition to your dream. Tip number 3 is a big one: invest in learning. Whether it's taking a course, finding a mentor, or even watching free tutorials online, building your knowledge and skills is one of the smartest moves you can make. Think about it this way: every hour you spend learning is an hour you're investing in your future. And if you've worried about the cost of courses or certifications, remember that there are so many affordable or even free resources out there. The internet is basically a treasure chest of opportunities. Use it to your advantage. Michael from Atlanta is a perfect example of leveraging skills and diversifying income streams. He combined his love for fitness and finance to create a budget friendly fitness program. But here's the kicker: he didn't just quit his accounting job to chase his dream. Instead, Michael maintained his full time role while developing his program on the side. He spent weekends fine tuning his offerings and evenings connecting with potential clients. By the time his program became profitable enough to sustain him, Michael had not only built a strong foundation, but also proven to himself that his passion could be a viable career. Michael's approach teaches us two important lessons. Don't underestimate the power of leveraging your current skills, and don't rely on a single source of income, at least not in the beginning. Speaking of income streams, that brings us to tip number 4. Diversify your income streams. When you're starting out, it's crucial not to put all your eggs in one basket. Maybe you have a day job that pays the bills while your passion project grows. Or perhaps you freelance, teach, or sell products related to your passion. Having multiple income streams not only provides financial stability, but also gives you the freedom to explore your passion without feeling pressured to make it your sole source of income right away. And who knows, one of those income streams might turn into something bigger than you ever imagined. Finally, tip number 5, leverage your current skills. This one is all about looking at what you're already good at and finding ways to use those skills to support your passion. Maybe you're an amazing organizer, a natural communicator, or a whiz with numbers. Ask yourself, how can I use what I already know to fund my dream? Here's something I want you to take away from this segment. Pursuing your passion doesn't have to mean reckless abandon. It's not about throwing caution to the wind. It's about taking thoughtful, intentional steps towards your dream. Passion and practicality can and should go hand in hand. And let's be real, there's no one size fit all approach here. Some of you might thrive by working on your passion a little bit each day, while others might dedicate weekends or evenings. Whatever your journey looks like, the important thing is to stay committed, stay flexible, and keep moving forward. So here's your challenge for this week. Pick one of these tips and put it into action. Maybe it's starting a small side project, creating a savings plan, or signing up for a course. Whatever it is, take that first step. You don't have to do everything at once, just one step at a time. You've got this, and I can't wait to hear how it goes. Passion doesn't mean abandoning reason. It means taking thoughtful, strategic steps towards your dream. And with these tips in your back pocket, you're well on your way to building a life that blends passion and financial stability beautifully. Segment 5, Passion Recap. All right, my beautiful souls, it's time to wrap up another incredible episode of Energize Your Passion. If you've been following along, you know we've covered a lot of ground today. But before you go, let's take a moment to soak it all in and really let it sink. We started with the foundation, defining passion and wealth on your own terms. This was such an important reminder that no one else gets to dictate what these means to you. Whether your passion is painting, teaching, or building a business, and whether wealth means freedom, security, or something else entirely. It's all about what feels right to you. Then we talked about building a bridge instead of burning one. You don't have to dive in head first without a plan. In fact, weaving a safety net while you transition is one of the smartest, most empowering things you can do. Next, we face the elephant in the room, fear and doubt. Let's be honest, they're not going anywhere. But as we heard from Maya and Devin, they don't have to stop you. Remember, fear is just a hurdle, and you're more than capable of jumping over it, crawling under it, or knocking it down. Finally, we got super practical with actionable steps. We talked about starting small, creating a financial cushion, investing in learning, leveraging your current skills, and diversifying your income streams. These tips are like a roadmap guiding you towards your dream without putting your financial stability at risk. I want you to really let this sink in. Your passion doesn't have to come at the expense of your wealth. It's not an either or choice. It's about balance, strategy, and staying true to yourself. You have everything you need to create a life that lights you up, step by step. And let's not forget the incredible listener stories we shared today. Kelly, Mark, Anna, Jason, Maria, Devin, Emily, and Michael, all real people who have faced challenges, made intentional choices, and found ways to balance their passion with their financial goals. Their journeys are proof that it's possible and that you can do it too. If this episode inspired you, even a little, I'd love for you to share it with someone who could use a little extra sunshine in their life. We all know someone who's stuck in a rut or afraid to take the first step towards their dreams. Be the spark that lights their way. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review. Your support isn't just about numbers. No, it isn't. And I'm speaking from the heart. It's about keeping this beautiful community striving, growing, and spreading positive energy to everyone who needs it. Oh, and I want to hear from you. If you've got a story about balancing passion and wealth, I'm all ears. Reach out to me on social media or through our website. You never know. Your story might just inspire someone else to take that leap of faith. Until next time, keep shining, keep dreaming, and keep chasing what lights your soul on fire. You've got this, and I'm cheering for you every step of the way. Stay energized, my friends, and remember, you've always just one step from something amazing. Catch you next week on Energize Your Passion. Until then, stay golden, stay grateful, and stay energized. This is Sunshine, signing off.